got a very special guest who just popped into the studio. I'm in surprise.
Alikuwa napitia tu, I hope ameleta
airtime.
Maze. Kwa sababu by the way Kwmbox, hakuna venye ma MVPs wanapanga weekend yao hata kujuliana tu hali na kwa tu hivyo wanajisikiza kwa radio. Plus you see most of them usually call us kwa namba yetu which is a Safaricom number. No, wanatusumbwanga tu kila saa. We Brayo maze sikuwa na airtime kwa sababu sijui mumenimalizia nini lakini
they spend a lot of airtime on the show. So we got the guy who actually makes sure that you get your airtime and you know and everything Safaricom. In studio got CEO Peter Ndegwa. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Nice to be here.
Nice to
meet
you.
In the studio, in the modern studio.
Yes, the best studio.
The best studio.
You gotta say, yeah, it's the best studio. I mean, we're happy to have you here. So let's talk. You just you showed up and do you have airtime for us first?
I can arrange. I can organize.
But you know you are the CEO. So for as a CEO, hauna limit ya kufuliza, si ndio?
No, sina limit.
Let's get right into it. I know that during this COVID times, Safaricom is definitely putting in, making a lot of effort to ensure that, especially your subscribers and even people who are not subscribers, are getting, extra services. What are some of those extra services that you've set up, especially during this COVID emergency time?
Yeah. So thank you for welcoming me. So COVID, of course, has introduced a lot of issues, and we know that customers, the country is under pressure. So we've done a lot to cushion customers during this period. First of all, supporting government to make sure that we reduce the spread, especially the Ministry of Health, frontline workers, doctors, nurses with airtime data for 3 months. On M-Pesa, you know that we are promoting cashless for 90 days, free transactions below 1,000. We are also supporting government transfer money to the vulnerable for free during this period. And also sometimes we also forget beyond COVID. There's also floods. So we've been supporting in the background with the Red Cross on floods. But coming back to customers, we've supported on fiber. We've doubled bandwidth for anyone who has fiber at home. We've also done Bonga for Good. Previously, Bonga for Good, you'd redeem the royalty points, you redeem in airtime and data.
Now
you get cash
to donate.
To donate to others. So I can sambaza you my Bonga points.
I'm sure you have like 1 million. I'm ready. I can go and literally buy a car.
So I think it is. We've spent, the customers have spent about 300 million of cash in Bonga for Good.
Wow.
In the past 75 days.
Okay.
So it's been a big success.
Is this going to stay?
So it was for 2 months. We wanted to support people during this period for 2 months, but that's 300 million. Which is a lot of commitment.
Speaking about COVID, right now as Safaricom Foundation, is there anything that you're planning to do, especially during this COVID period, in terms of assisting people on ground? Because there's so many people out there, let's say they're struggling, they don't have jobs. Some people don't have, let's say, cash coming into their into their families. Does Safaricom Foundation, are they planning something that's coming soon?
So what we have done with at Safaricom and the foundation itself, you know, there's the COVID emergency board, which has been set up by the president. What we are doing is we donated 200 million from our foundation, and all that money will be transferred through M-Pesa to people who are vulnerable and who are needy. So we are going to be transferring it for free to people who are needy. I've talked about the support we are providing for floods. So M-Pesa and Safaricom Foundation are going to continue to support Kenyans during this period. The other area that we want to really support is on small business. We know small businesses employ a lot of people, and especially the youth. So during the recovery phase, and we know the government has put a package on small business. As Safaricom with banks and others, we are going to come together to support small businesses during the recovery period. So and the M-Pesa Foundation and also Safaricom Foundation will be involved in ensuring so that we make sure that the support comes through.
I'm so grateful that you actually popped in, because I think sometime this week we were talking about fraudsters, and we noticed that especially during this COVID times, like the fraudsters they have lockdown just kept them in the house, in the phones, just getting super creative. And some of the people have talked about, losing their cash via M-Pesa. Someone says, oh, this number, Tuma kwa ile number, and a lot of people are falling for this. what is Safaricom doing? Because I know there's a lot of listeners who are Safaricom subscribers who fall for these pranks. What is Safaricom doing to ensure that that doesn't happen?
I hope most of your listeners are Safaricom subscribers.
They are.
Yes. So we know that during this period, people are under pressure. And people will be creative and try to corner others sometimes.
Yes.
And also they have a lot of time in their hands. So we have seen an increase, and it's not just for M-Pesa or others. It's everywhere. Even the banks have seen an increase in what we call cyber.
Yes.
And also because people are on the internet. So what we have done is to make sure that we can inform customers. We are really driving a lot of communication to customers. We are asking customers to confirm any transaction before it is actually done. We are enhancing the security features of M-Pesa. So M-Pesa is very simple so that it allows customers to transact in a simple way. But we are also enhancing the need to confirm that it is you who wants to transfer money. The one thing that I should ask customers is don't be fooled. If you are not sending the money to someone, don't be fooled by anyone who says Tuma Kwai. Tuma Kwai is the one thing you should avoid responding to.
There's this con that I've seen, and it's so crazy. And even people who you think you know that this is a con, they fall for it. Someone calls you and tells you you've tried to change your password, and then so they send you a prompt. So you see that prompt. And then the next thing you're like, oh, it must be Safaricom, and they change it. And even if the number, so they're getting like smarter and smarter.
Yeah, one thing I should say to your listeners is you should never engage with anyone who tells you about password. Whether that is for your bank, for M-Pesa, you should always call the call center. If you initiate the call yourself, then you can do whatever you want to do and change and transact the way you want. The other thing I would ask is if you have the right phone, you can do it online. So you don't have to actually call the call center. And especially for your listeners who are young, there's a lot of self-help. You can do it on your gadget. So there is no need for anyone to be calling you to tell you that there is a password to be changed, because that's likely to be a con.
Thank you so much for coming through. And before you go, this is a reggae station and nobody can stop reggae. What is your favorite reggae song? Do you listen to music?
I do. Any Bob Marley would be great.
Any Bob Marley?
Any.
Oh, man.
I know that is old.
That is a lot of music, but I'm gonna choose you one. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
And since you have come through nice and strong in the morning, we're gonna play Iron Lion Zion.
Well done. Thank you.
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.